How to protect your child from inappropriate behaviors taught by others. Hey everyone, kids truly are little sponges, soaking up everything around them so quickly it's almost unbelievable. The things we say, the things we do, they can sink deep into their minds without them even realizing it. I genuinely believe that if we want our kids to grow up with good behaviors, the first thing we need to do as parents is create an environment worth imitating. It sounds simple, but trust me, it's not easy at all. Are kids' imitative behaviors really just harmless fun? Guys, today I want to share a bit about this because I think it's something every parent can relate to. Sometimes, watching our kids do silly things makes us want to burst out laughing. But then I catch myself wondering, are these things really as harmless as I think? Imagine this. Your kid suddenly blurts out a swear word. Some families don't see it as a big deal, they say. It's just kids being kids. No need to ban it. They'll figure it out when they're older. But for me, it doesn't sit right. I don't want my child to think those words are an okay way to communicate. Even if it's just one phrase, it could shape how they view the world later on. Then there's the time my kid farted right in front of relatives. Oh my goodness. I remember one time it happened, and the whole family cracked up. My kid was over the moon with delight. I found it funny too. Because come on, kids love those goofy moments. But then I started thinking, if this keeps happening over and over, is it still okay? It's not just about health, it's about how they learn boundaries and respect for others. I don't want my child growing up not knowing when it's fine to joke and when it's time to be serious. Especially with 2-year-olds. You know what? They don't get the concept of the right time and place yet. So sometimes they do these things out in the open, and I'm just standing there blushing with embarrassment. But then it hit me, instead of feeling awkward, I need to step up. I want my kid to be exposed to more positive things, to copy good behaviors instead of running wild with uncontrolled pranks. Honestly, kids really are sponges. They do things without even thinking. Those inappropriate behaviors can be hilarious. I get it, but if I don't guide them in the right direction, who will? I just want my child to grow up in an environment where every action has meaning, where they can become a kinder person. Boundaries in parenting, something we can't take lightly. Everyone, now I want to open up about something I think is super important. How to get relatives to respect the way we raise our kids. It sounds simple, but in reality, it's a huge deal. I once heard about someone letting their 10-year-old take a few sips of beer, and they brushed it off like, no big deal, it's just for fun. I was chilled to the bone hearing that. To them, it's fine, but to me, it's absolutely unacceptable. Moments like that made me realize that if I don't set clear boundaries from the start, it'll be so hard to manage later. I believe every family has its own way, its own personality, but to protect my child, I have to be strong. I started by telling my relatives, this is my line, and I hope you'll respect it. It's not easy, sometimes they don't get it, or they even get upset with me. But I think if I don't do it now, I'll regret it down the road. When my kids' behaviors got out of hand, I felt so lost at times. There were moments I turned to a child psychologist for advice. They told me it's not just the kids who need to change, sometimes I need to look at myself too. And it's true, deep down. We all have that inner child that needs some tweaking. Good or bad. If I've spoken up and my relatives still don't listen, I choose to let the talking slide and focus on changing my kids' behavior instead. I patiently talk to my child about what's not okay, explaining why I don't want them doing it. Slowly, I've realized that when I stay consistent, things start to shift. I've also learned to find allies in the family. There are a couple of relatives I feel close to and who seem more open. So I've shared with them, this really matters to me, and I'd love your support. And you know what? When someone's on my side, it feels like a weight off my shoulders. Raising kids isn't a solo battle, right? Most importantly, I always remind myself that parents are the biggest influence on their kids. They watch us, learn from us every day. When I set limits with the adults around us, my child notices, even though their antics used to get big laughs from the family. Now I'm determined to be a positive role model. I believe that when I change, my kid will gradually shift towards something better too. Closing words. Hey everyone, raising kids is a long journey, full of challenges but so meaningful. I just hope that through what I've shared today, you'll find a little spark to keep protecting your kids from what's not right. Be their example, set boundaries when you need to, and always believe you're the most important part of their growing up story. Wishing you all tons of strength.